Hi friends, welcome back to Feel Good Fridays. Can I ask you something real quick? Have you ever noticed that people who treat you the worst are often the ones you unknowingly give permission to? And here's the thing that nobody talks about. If you can't look in the mirror and genuinely love the person you see staring back at you, how can you possibly treat someone else how to love you properly? Today, we're talking about something that changed my entire life. The connection between self-love, self-respect, and literally teaching people how to treat us. And I promise you, it's not as complicated as you think. Here's the truth bomb. You cannot give what you don't have. Think about it like this. If you don't know how to love yourself, you literally don't have the blueprint to show someone else how to love you. It's like trying to teach someone how to bake a cake when they've never stepped foot inside a kitchen. Research actually shows that people who have higher self-respect have better quality relationships. Not because they're pickier, but because they know their worth and can communicate it more clearly. Now, I personally have learned this the hard way. For years, I have accepted treatment that made me feel small because deep down, I felt small. I didn't respect myself, so why would anyone else? The moment that I started to build my self-respect, everything started to shift. People either stepped up or they stepped out. And both, even though it didn't always seem like it, were a blessing. Now here is where it actually gets interesting. We are constantly teaching people how to treat us. Every boundary that we don't set, every disrespect that we tolerate, every time we put ourselves last, that's a lesson we're teaching. When you don't love yourself, you accept crumbs and you call it a meal. You let people cross lines because you haven't drawn any. You apologize for existing instead of celebrating that you're here. But when you develop self-respect, you become clear. You communicate with your needs without any guilt. You walk away from situations that diminish you, and you know what happens? People start treating you differently, not because they've changed, but because you have taught them a new curriculum. The beautiful thing is that people with strong self-respect naturally set better boundaries and practice more assertive communication. It's not about being difficult. It's about being clear. Here's the really good news. Developing self-respect is not rocket science. It starts with awareness. You can't heal what you can't see. So we need to catch ourselves in those moments when we're not treating ourselves well. Because trust me, on some level, deep inside, we always know when we're betraying ourselves. So I want you to try something this week. It's just a simple gauge, but it's powerful. Ask yourself this question and be brutally honest with the answer, because you're only answering it to yourself, right? What do I need to do and what do I not need to do to really be able to look at myself in the mirror and be okay with who I see? Sit with that, write it down, because the answer, that is your roadmap. What do I need to do and what do I not need to do to be okay with who I really see in the mirror? Let me share something personal. There was a time where I couldn't look at myself in the mirror without criticizing everything I saw. I was treating myself worse than I'd ever even treat a stranger. I was accepting behaviors from others that I'd never tolerate if it was directed towards somebody that I love. When I finally asked myself that mirror question, my answer was uncomfortable. I needed to stop people pleasing. Big one for me, at my own expense. I was a huge people pleaser. I needed to stop apologizing for having needs. I needed to start speaking up when something just didn't feel right. And you know what? The moment that I start treating myself with the respect that I deserve, my entire world transformed. My healing began. It wasn't overnight, but consistently. People who couldn't respect the new boundaries, and let me tell you, there were those people, they left. They did. Those people. There are some people. You are not called to everybody. You're not called to everybody. Not everybody's called to you. There are some people, even family members, I must say, that you just learn to love from afar, right? People who could stay and love me better. I mean, you really learn who those people that belong in your life are. So here's what I want you to do this week. First, answer that mirror question honestly. Write it down. What do you need to start doing and what do you need to stop doing? Second, pick one thing from the list, just one. Maybe it's saying no to over explaining. Maybe it's speaking up when something's bothering you. Maybe it's simply talking to yourself the way you talk to a best friend. Third, notice how you feel when you honor yourself. That feeling, that's self-respect growing. That's you teaching yourself and everyone around you that you matter. Remember, self-love isn't selfish. It's the foundation for every healthy relationship you'll have, including the one with yourself. Start small and be patient with yourself. And remember, you're not broken. You're just learning to love yourself the way that you deserve to be loved and the way that God loves you and intended for you to be loved. If this resonated with you, please give it that thumbs up. Share it with somebody who needs to hear this. I know there's so many people that need this. It has transformed my life. And I can hear this every single week, honestly. This is one that I need to constantly remind myself. Don't forget that your story matters. Your healing matters, and you matter. I will see you next week, friends. Until then, be kind to yourself, be blessed, and remember you are loved. Bye.